Hey YouTube, it's Bobby and I'm back with part 3 of the Hoop Coop chicken coop build. We've had about 4 inches of rain, we've had freezing weather, we've had power outages. We ran off a generator for most of one day and it finally got pretty, finally dried up a little bit, and I finally got time. It's a Sunday afternoon. Gonna work on the rest of the chicken coop. I know I won't finish it today because there's a lot of details, but I'm trying to get the main wiring done, and I'll show y'all what we got. I'll be back. Well, if you remember where we left off, we got the cattle panels inside the frame, we got the door built, got it all framed up in the back and in the front, strengthened up. And I had one 6-foot row of chicken wire installed over the cattle panels, and then I stapled them down with this little trim strip to hold them. And now I have added a second 6-foot row of chicken wire, and you would think, okay, 6 plus 6 is 12, but I went ahead, because of all the varmints out here and the snakes and everything, I went ahead and overlapped it from here to there, so almost about a 6-inch overlap over the first row. And I'm going to zip tie with some small zip ties all this to secure it together, which because of the overlap, I lost about 6 inches on this end, which actually works out better. I'm not real happy with these big holes and this cheap chicken wire. And a buddy of mine, Oscar, gave me some that's with some smaller holes, and it feels maybe a little stiffer, I'm not sure. Definitely has smaller holes. So what I'm going to do, since this is the end that's going to be outside of the tarps, this end's going to have heavy tarps over it for shade and rain, and this end will be open for sun. So this will actually be the more vulnerable side for varmints and such. So I'm going to overlap this a third time from end to somewhere in here with the other chicken wire with the smaller holes, and put it down underneath that strip. It's kind of a pain in the butt to work with down there, but not a big deal. And then I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of that welded wire, that good rabbit wire with the 1/2 inch by 1 inch squares. As far as over here, I'm not sure what all I'm going to chicken wire and what all I'm going to put rabbit wire on. So anyway, I'll be back after I get some more wire put on this thing. And my buddy Bruce advised me that my little chicken shit wheels here would probably bury up in our sandy loam soil, so I tend to agree with him, especially as heavy as this thing is. I'm still not sure how I'm going to rig up the wheels, but he did give me these pneumatic tires that got some knobbies on them and a little wider. So I'm going to rig up something down here where I can stick the wheels on and then take them off later or something like that, or make a little axle that lifts them up. I'll have to use some redneck engineering there, but I'll be back. I appreciate y'all watching. Please take the time to like and subscribe. I'm getting close to the minimum users on YouTube to get some sponsorship on here. I think I'm somewhere around 800 subscribers and I need 1,000. So don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, watch some of my other videos, and hit that notification bell so you'll get an alert when I post a new video. I'd really appreciate it. Alright, I got the other row of the black chicken wire, the smaller holes, put on. It goes from this back end of the cage. I'm going to wrap it around with some zip ties probably or something. And it goes all the way over to here, which is nice. I'm going to zip tie all this together just to hold it down and try to minimize gaps I'm still working on this side. You can see how the roll of wire just kind of hangs there, which is good. I can pull it tight, get some of those loose spots out, roll it down, and reattach it on top of that trims strip with another one, so I don't have to pull that up. I wasn't thinking about this other row when I overlapped. But anyway, I'll be back. Got the wire finished up over the top for the chicken wire. Guess I tweaked my back a couple days ago moving the generator in and out of the shed during our little power outage. I noticed it was hurting a little bit, and today when I was crawling around and using the staple gun and lifting this cage up and stuff, really started hurting, having trouble standing all the way up. Anyway, let me show you what we got here. So we had the regular chicken wire down here. Oh, it's hard to see. And then I got the double layer put on here, all the way down underneath the trim, stapled down. Kind of attached it with zip ties on the ends. But everything's fairly tight. There's some loose spots, but I zip tied it down pretty well. Anyway, zip ties are pretty useful around the old homestead. So now I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with these ends. I don't know if I'm going to chicken wire, put a little plywood back here, what I'm going to do. My buddy Bruce came over today and he's lost all his chickens this year to possums getting in and killing them, and a couple snakes getting eggs. So it's going to be a constant battle out here in the woods. Alright, just putting some chicken wire across this top near the door. Got it folded over, connected with some zip ties and some little pieces of wire. Pretty dang tight, if I say so myself. Staple gun's a lifesaver. Highly recommend it. Same over here. I'll be trimming these up after I get everything done. So I'll probably put chicken wire on the bottom and then go back over it with the rabbit wire 2 feet up. It's 24-inch rabbit wire, and then all the way down. Same on the back side. I'm about to call it a day. Appreciate y'all following along on the Hoop Coop build. It's a beautiful day here in Texas. So last time I had put wire over this top portion on both sides. Pretty tight, I like it. I put another roll of wire over the cage, meeting up with the first roll that was on this end. I'm almost out of the good wire. Got a little bit left. That wire made it all the way down to here, so I still got these big openings that I'm going to have to cover up. So I'll see what I can do with that. So I started the rabbit wire procedure down at the bottom to keep varmints out. As you can see, I got a 90-degree angle on the first row, and then I use my staple gun every 2 or 3. And it's really good. I like it. Stapled it up the cage. It's 2 foot high. I did not have a brace here, so I had to make one. Used the old pocket holes. Stapled it to that. Used plumber strap on the end like all my wood connections that are connected to the cattle panels. Bent the wire over when there was an overhang. Stapled it on the end there. Stapled it on the end there, and then zip ties on the bends around the corner. Hopefully it'll keep some of the varmints out. That's really about all I've done today. I'm going to repeat this process over here on this side and get that rabbit wire going, and then make a decision on whether to go ahead and do the sides with the rapid wire, and give me time to figure out what I'm going to do back here on the back side. I don't know yet if I'm going to put a row of plywood along the bottom, since I'm running out of wire. I got to see how much rabbit wire I have left after I run these. I think what are they, 12-foot links down the side. So that's really about it. I've received a lot of messages. I appreciate it, asking about the chicken coop and why my slow ass ain't doing anything. Just been busy. Like I said, we had a bunch of down trees out there. I've been working on other projects. I got some shop lights hung up in the 10 by 13 foot shed and got those wired in nicely so I can see out there. We've got a lot of rabbits being born. We got a lot of rabbits that are sold, and we just had a mother rabbit have 13 babies, which is a new record for KCA rabbitry. So I'll check back in after I get some more done. If y'all have any questions, please send me a message or comment on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, KCA Ranch and Homestead. Actually, I think it's KCA. Yeah, that should be it. You can search KCA Rabbits, KCA Quail. It's just all one page now. And we have jumbo Coturnix quail eggs available in Centerville, Texas. We have breeder rabbits. We have meat rabbits. We're going to start hatching out chicks again now that it's starting to warm up. Anyway, lots of good stuff going on. Thanks for checking us out. Hey YouTube, I'm back. Got the front completed. So we got rabbit wire down at the bottom, chicken wire, same thing on this side. Got a little bit of trimming to do just to make it look better, but chicken wire, new braces, and rabbit wire down to the bottom. Nice and neat with staples. Staple gun's a lifesaver. I need to close off this opening with some more wire on both ends. I have one over there, the other side too. And then I need to figure out what I'm gonna do on the back side. I may just break down and buy another roll of this better chicken wire with the smaller holes than that crap that I bought off of Amazon. It's got fist size holes in it. I have to keep in mind when I'm running boards over here that one day this will be converted from meat chickens, which just basically sit on the ground for 10 weeks, and then they go to freezer camp. Convert this to laying hens, and I want to be able to attach nesting boxes back here on the back, or maybe even sit on the side of the coop and hook to the cattle panel somehow. But just trying to keep that in mind, that this will not be a permanent meat chicken coop, and I may have to build another coop later if we decide to raise meat chickens every year, but we're gonna give it a try this year and see what happens. Hey everybody, I'm back with a little bit more of the chicken coop build. Thanks for all the messages and texts from my buddy saying, when are you gonna finish the dang chicken coop? I saw a problem as I was walking around it for the last 3 weeks, ignoring the chicken coop, that my main 12-foot boards on the side of the frame are bowing out. I was warned that that may happen and that I should attach a runner across the middle to keep it from doing that, from the pressure of the cattle panels pushing out on it. But I didn't. I don't think it's going to hurt anything if I left it alone, but I decided to try to at least mitigate the problem with a, well, I'll have to show you. I don't know if y'all can see that, but you can tell the board is bowing out. I came up with a redneck engineering idea not to run a board across because I want the little chickens to be able to travel around. I'm going to try to run a steel cable across the middle. That way at least they might be able to go under it or over it, or I don't know, maybe decapitate themselves on it. But I'm going to run that across to this side. And I'm going to take you over here to my workbench. And this little spreader thing I'm going to try to put in the middle so I can tighten it up. We'll see what happens. It probably won't work, but we'll give it a try. Well, I hate to jinx myself, but man, I think that worked like a charm. I actually over tightened it, and when I looked at the boards, they were bowed in. Still has a slight bow in, but I think I'm going to leave it. Alright, I'm just going to trim up the excess wire, tape it up a little bit so nobody gets hurt, and call that little mini project done. Hey guys, I finished up the last piece of varmint slash rabbit wire along the bottom. It runs from here down to the bottom, and I zip tied it, and every 2 or 3 cattle panel rungs. Still got some little minor touch up to do with a hammer to wrap it around, or the grinder, but clip off these zip ties, and the only thing left besides the wheels, which I haven't figured out yet, but I have an idea, is to wire up the back. I'm still trying to decide if I want just plain chicken wire or something else. If I add something else, I'll have to add some braces just to keep it tight. But I've got 3 different sets of wheels to play with. This one requires a 3/4 inch axle. I'm thinking I'm going to use a bolt. Put some permanent axles on there, which is a bolt sticking out this way. It's permanently attached where I can slide the wheel on, slap another washer and bolt on, and then lift it up there with my tractor or my mule or something. We'll see. It's not that important right now because it's going to stay in one place while we raise our meat chickens. Alright, I'll be back when I get more done.